Hi, everyone. I'm Erica, and you won't believe what my sister did to my wedding dress. But that's just the start of this nightmare. Let me take you back to where it all began. It had been another successful campaign launch. I leaned back in my office chair, savoring the moment. At 28, I was a senior marketing executive at Thompson and Brooks, a position I'd worked tirelessly to achieve. Yet, every win still felt incredible. My phone buzzed with a message from my sister, Melissa. Melissa, Mom and Dad just bought me a new car. Don't be jealous. Attached was a photo of her posing with a brand new Mercedes. Really? I muttered, irritation rising. They bought her another car while I'm still paying off my student loans. I showed the text to my best friend, Kate, who worked with me. Your sister is something else, Kate said, shaking her head. You worked 3 jobs through college, and she's been living like a queen off your parents. Don't remind me, I groaned. Remember when she accidentally spilled coffee on my graduation gown? Or how she told everyone at my promotion party that I only got the job because I was sleeping with my boss? Kate grimaced. Ah, and your fiancé James almost believed her that time. Good thing he saw through it. Speaking of James, my eyes softened as I glanced at the photo of us on my desk. We'd met during college, bonding over long shifts at a coffee shop and shared dreams. Later, my phone rang. It was Melissa. Hey sis, I'm so excited to be your maid of honor. Let's go dress shopping, like, right now. Melissa, I'm at work. Some of us have to earn a living, I replied dryly. Don't be such a buzzkill. Mom and Dad said they'd help with the wedding, so no worries about the cost. They offered. I declined, I said firmly. James and I want a modest wedding that we can afford ourselves. That evening, I vented to James. She got another car while they wouldn't even help me with textbooks, and Kate overheard her at the engagement party calling our wedding budget pathetic. James sighed, pulling me into a hug. Maybe she shouldn't be in the wedding at all. You know how she is. If I don't include her, Mom and Dad will never let me live it down. They always take her side. The next day, Kate called, her voice urgent. Erica, you won't believe what Melissa just posted on Instagram. She's claiming she introduced you to James. She wasn't even in town when we met. I snapped. Exactly. She's trying to take credit again, Kate said. And that fake excitement about being maid of honor. I don't trust it. Neither did I, but I was determined. My wedding day would not be another one of her spectacles. Until it was. I froze in horror as I stared at my wedding dress, crumpled on the floor of my spare room. Bleach stains covered the bodice, the fabric was torn, and burn marks marred the train. My hands shook as I sank to my knees. What happened? Kate's voice rang out as she entered the room. Her eyes widened. Oh my God. Before I could respond, my phone rang. It was Melissa. Hey sis, she chirped. I heard you might have a little problem with your dress. Good thing I still have my wedding gown. It's way more expensive than yours anyway. My blood ran cold. How did you know about my dress? Oh, just a feeling, she said with mock innocence. Kate stormed in, holding up her phone. Erica, you need to see this. She played footage from her security camera. It showed Melissa sneaking into my apartment earlier that day carrying a bag. She disappeared into the spare room for 20 minutes before leaving. I stared at the screen, disbelief mixing with rage. Memories flooded back, my prom dress that mysteriously tore, the college acceptance letter I never received in time, and every other disaster Melissa had saved me from while looking like the hero. I called my parents. Mom, Dad, come over. Now. They arrived just as James and his brother, Connor, walked in. Connor immediately began photographing the damage. Look at what your perfect Melissa did to my wedding dress, I said, voice shaking, as I played the footage for them. Oh honey, I'm sure she didn't mean to, Mom started, her voice dripping with condescension. Didn't mean to, I shot back, my voice shaking. There's literal video evidence. Well, if you had just accepted our offer to buy your dress in the first place, Dad said, crossing his arms. That is not the point, I snapped. Your daughter deliberately destroyed my wedding dress the night before my wedding. She's offering you her dress, isn't she? Mom sighed, exasperated. Just take it and stop making such a big deal out of this. You've always been so dramatic. Connor stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. As a lawyer, I should point out that what we just witnessed in that footage constitutes criminal damage to property. You wouldn't dare press charges against your own sister. Dad bellowed. Watch me, I said, my voice cold as ice. James stepped beside me as I tried to steady my breathing. The wedding's postponed, I announced. I have to call all 100 guests and explain why. Do you have any idea how much money we're going to lose on deposits? Dad's tone turned scornful. If you just wore Melissa's dress. Get out. My voice cut through the air like a knife. Get out of my apartment. Right now. Mom and Dad exchanged a look before leaving, muttering under their breath. James wrapped his arms around me as tears streamed down my face. Connor broke the silence. We've got the evidence, he said quietly, and have uncovered some other information about your sister that might be relevant. Kate, already on her phone, looked up with fire in her eyes. I'm posting that footage everywhere. Let's see her try to lie her way out of this one. I glanced at my ruined dress, thinking about the extra shifts I'd worked to afford it. She's gone too far this time. No more playing nice. No more forgiving and forgetting. James rubbed my back gently. What do you want to do? I want her to face real consequences, I said, my voice hardening. And I never want to see her again. Connor spread a stack of documents across the kitchen table. Remember Melissa's ex-husband, Rick? The one who suddenly left her because he was intimidated by her success. That wasn't the reason. What are you saying? I asked. She opened 6 credit cards in his name, Connor explained. Maxed them all out. He only found out when debt collectors started calling. That's why he disappeared. He was working with the credit card companies to prove identity theft. Before I could respond, Kate burst into the room, her face flushed. Speaking of your lovely sister, guess who's been sending inappropriate texts to James for the past month? James sighed, pulling out his phone. I blocked her number, but she kept making new accounts. I didn't want to tell you because I knew it would hurt you. My hands trembled as I scrolled through the messages. Melissa had suggested meeting in secret, claiming I was cheating on James. That manipulative little. I stopped, fury choking my words. There's more, Connor said grimly. I dove into some financial records. Seems Melissa's been slowly draining Mom and Dad's retirement fund. Over $200,000 gone in the last 2 years. My phone buzzed with a message from my cousin Sarah. Sarah, oh my God, Erica. I just found out Melissa was lying. She told us you said all those horrible things about Aunt Marie's cancer. I can't believe we believed her and didn't talk to you for a year. Kate muttered, classic Melissa. Remember when half your family didn't show up to your college graduation? Bet she had something to do with that too. Another buzz, this time from Melissa's new boyfriend David. David, got your message about checking my accounts. You were right. She's been forging my signatures. It's over. I'm pressing charges. Then my parents called. Mom's voice was trembling. Honey, we just got a call from the bank. Our retirement account, it's almost empty. Did you know about this? Connor found the proof. It was Melissa, I said flatly. It's always been Melissa. Still want to defend her. We had no idea, Mom said tearfully. All these years she told us you were jealous of her, spreading lies about her. Well, now you know the truth, I said coldly. How does it feel to realize you backed the wrong daughter all this time? My phone kept lighting up with messages from family members, all echoing the same sentiment. Apologies, disbelief, and outrage as Melissa's web of lies unraveled. This explains the constant shopping, the new car, the luxury vacations, Connor said, shaking his head. She's been stealing from everyone. Kate grinned, holding up her phone. Look, David just posted publicly about her fraud. Her perfect image is crumbling. You know the worst part? I said, staring at the pile of evidence on the table. She could have had a good life. Our parents gave her every advantage, but it was never enough. She had to destroy everyone else's happiness, too. James took my hand. The police will probably want to talk to her about the credit card fraud. Let them, I said firmly. I'm done protecting her. I'm done with all of it. Later, my mom called again, sobbing. We're so sorry, honey. We should have seen it sooner. You're right, I replied. You should have. But it's too late for apologies now. Weeks later, Kate adjusted my veil in the dressing room of a small beach house. The sound of waves drifted in through the open window. You look beautiful, she said, smiling. Our intimate wedding ceremony was everything I dreamed of, just love, no drama. I still can't believe Miss Perfect lost her VP position, Kate said, grinning as she checked her phone. The company wasn't too happy about her fraud charges being splashed all over the news. Did you see my parents' house is on the market? I asked, smoothing down my new wedding dress. It was simpler than the first, but somehow even more perfect. They're still calling, James mentioned as he walked in, adjusting his tie. Asking if you'll help them financially since they're selling the house. What did you tell them? The same thing you did. Actions have consequences. They chose to enable Melissa for years. They can't expect you to bail them out now. Connor appeared at the door, holding his phone. Speaking of consequences, he began, Melissa's being charged with multiple counts of fraud. The evidence was overwhelming once we started digging. Between the credit cards, your parents' retirement fund, and what she did to David. How long is she looking at? Minimum 5 years, Connor said. Could be more, depending on what else turns up. Kate touched up her lipstick in the mirror. Remember when your mom called, crying and begging you to write a character reference for Melissa? Same mom who told me I was being dramatic about my wedding dress. I replied, shaking my head. Yeah, not happening. The ceremony was perfect. Just us, our closest friends, and the sound of waves crashing on the shore. No family drama, no manipulations, no lies. James's vows made me cry happy tears. Ready to dance, Mrs. Marketing Director? He asked, holding out his hand and pulling me to my feet. Still can't believe I got that promotion right after we postponed the first wedding, I said, smiling. Guess sometimes bad things lead to better opportunities. Kate joined us on the dance floor. Oh, did you decide what you're doing with your new dress after today? Donating it to that charity that helps survivors rebuild their lives, I said. Feels fitting. Speaking of rebuilding, Connor interjected, Melissa's sentencing is next week. I'm not going, I said firmly. That chapter of my life is closed. James pulled me closer as we swayed to the music. Proud of you, he murmured. Lesser people would have been broken by what she did. I'm not broken, I said, glancing around at the small but joyous gathering. I'm free. There was no toxic family, no manipulative sister, no enabling parents, just love, truth, and peace. Sometimes the best revenge is simply living well. What would you do if you discovered a close family member had been sabotaging your entire life while pretending to love you? Would you press charges like I did or try to protect them one last time? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories about overcoming toxic relationships and finding the strength to stand up for yourself, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me share more stories of survival and justice.